変な意味じゃないですよ。私は宿と違って約束は守ります。絶対に忘れませんから。
I'm back, so we can go ahead and get started. Hello.
Hey,
I was like, yeah, are y'all there?
I wasn't sure if this was for the stream or if it was for.
Yeah, this is for the stream. This is for the stream. This is for the stream. For those watching or who may be watching later, because this will be put up in other places, I am your host Tesmo Gizmo. Welcome to the second edition of the Animanga Kickback. Today I have some of my friends here. My homie Nella Trey, say what up to the people.
What's going on, y'all?
The man himself, the young sports guru and phenom. I was about to say Gurod, CKTV.
Subscribe to CK2K.
And the king of the goop himself, the young do-rag Don, KDJ. Let him know what's up, man.
You can see me right now. I got my hands together. I'm taking a bow for the culture. But I appreciate y'all for coming through. Shout out to my boy Tez for having me, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Today is a special occasion. This is, like I said, the second. Oh my God, the cat's over here tripping. The second edition of the podcast, people, and it's officially been coined the Animanga Kickback. So I'd like to thank you and welcome you to the Animanga Kickback again. We're gonna start off as you see with today's topics being: can sports and anime exist? So we'll be answering a few questions and querying some things from you all who may be coming in and asking questions just in the general spectrum of sports and anime, but then we may just branch off into other subjects and topics that, you know, just delve into this realm of many wide pools. So let's start. I'm just gonna, kick off the first question. So how in recent years do you feel anime and sports have both benefited from each other? Now I'm just gonna place that on the floor, and I guess whoever would like to take a stab at it first, just let me know, and you go ahead and let the world know what you feel.
I could start with this one because as you know, I'm NBA is probably my favorite. I'm a big basketball head. I love football, but this I feel like pertains to basketball more because the league is getting younger, and we're seeing a lot of players that are open with the whole Fortnite and all that craze, but also a lot of these young players like a player for the Sacramento Kings, De'Aaron Fox. He's a huge anime head, and he's very open about it with Instagram and social medias in general. And I feel like because of that, and he's only been in the league for a year, because of that, we've been seeing a lot more of the younger generation in the league doing the same thing and being open with it. We've seen a lot of players like D'Angelo Russell and a bunch of other guys um, being open to talk about that while supposedly being that NBA basketball jock, but being cool, but it's still okay to talk about anime, talk about manga, talk about all that stuff, right? Which I find pretty cool because back in the day, if they did that, it'd be like, oh, you a nerd, you can't talk about that, no. So I found that really cool, man, because he's very. If you even look at his hair, he black dude, and he got that Goku hair, and
You
you
ain't
can
lying.
look him up. So I find that to be cool, especially with this question because, like you said, recently, that's definitely a recent thing where a lot more players have been open and not scared and not afraid to be themselves, and I love that.
Facts.
That's just what's so great about the NBA, just the culture all around, and I think that's a cool phenomenon that's going on right now.
True. Anybody else want to add something to the floor? KDJ, Nella Trey?
Nella, you wanna
I
say
need the exact question again.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll go ahead and spit on it real quick. So I just say that anime has benefited more from sports than sports from anime for the most part.
100%.
Doing fact because anime moved to the sports culture and started integrating sports into anime because of the popularity of sports. You know what I'm saying? So through that, anime has benefited, but also the acceptance of nerd culture, like mostly in the states, in general.
Yeah.
Like I'd say in the last 2-3 years has definitely helped the anime / manga market in the Western world. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just basically piggybacked off what CK said.
But that's pretty much the latter from what I was saying. That's why I appreciate what's going on right now. A lot more players coming out about it because, like KJ said, I feel like anime was getting benefiting more from sports than the other way around, but now it's slowly making that turn, which is cool.
Yeah.
All right, facts. And Trey, the question again was, how in recent years do you feel anime and sports have both benefited from each other?
Okay, I was just reading it. I agree with CK and KDJ 100%. Like using myself as an example. I mean, I always would watch boxing if my parents had it on TV or if my parents had it on TV, family, anybody was watching it, yelling at the TV.
Yeah.
But when I started to watch Hajime no Ippo and actually learning about the sport, because I didn't know the intricacies of the sport until I watched that anime. When I actually started to learn about the intricacies of the sport, I got interested in watching the real thing all the time. So I became a huge boxing fan, learned as much as I could, and I would have never even had a second thought about watching it unless I saw Hajime no Ippo. So I definitely think that anime has, like they said, how you have all these popular athletes and everything being more open about enjoying anime, you also have these various anime fans. I don't want to use the word nerd. You have these various anime fans or people who weren't that big into sports moving over to watching sports because of the anime and wanting to learn more about it.
Facts. That's very valid because I was gonna say in my own experience, it was the basketball that Kuro plays is what truly turned me into it got me watching basketball. Like this was, I had read it some while back when I was young, and I was like, oh man, this is really cool.
So follow up question to what you just said. Did it disappoint you when you watched actual basketball and you didn't see people flying and being dramatic down the court?
No, it didn't. Cool. It just saying it I didn't know the intricacies of certain things, even though they like I said, basketball is played in many different ways from high school, middle school, junior, college level, even professionally. It's just still the way they play basketball made me want to look more into, okay, so how is basketball played, from this level to the next level, and then I just stuck at, I got my one particular group of people I like. I wouldn't say I'm a fanboy. It's just if I find something I like, I'm gonna stick with it and ride it out and see how I feel about it. I won't be like, yeah, I've been here since day one. No, I like what I see, so I can definitely say this is intriguing. I'm gonna, keep watching. I want to see how they do as a team, or I want to see how this person develops as their, rookie season. Like with Knox, you CK got me interested in just seeing how Knox is gonna do. I'm like, I'm gonna follow this boy for the whole year and see how he, see how he pops off. Like I want to see how he does in his rookie season.
As do I, my friend. As do I.
But even from the other end of it, like how the openness of being nerdy with sports, celebrities, it's all an amazing thing to see. Because like I said, it used to be you couldn't be there. Like you said, CK, oh, you're a nerd. You can't. Yeah, it was taboo. It was like it was just one of those untouched. You couldn't be both. Yeah. There was no way you were gonna be the guy like, oh yeah, I'm up here, running a 440. I'm leading the team and scoring or whatever. But then I sit at home and watch Pokemon. Like that couldn't be you. Or if your homeboys found out that you watched it, you're like, oh no, man, you gotta deny that you watch it. I'm like, But you know what was so weird though? They wouldn't trounce you if you watch Dragon Ball Z. But if you watch anything outside of the realm of Dragon Ball Z, you lost cool points.
Yes. That is such a good point. That's such a good point. Dragon Ball Z was like the only acceptable one, especially like growing up, elementary and middle school. Exactly. But then if anyone brings up any other show that nobody knows about, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess that's cool. I didn't know you're into that kind of stuff. And it's like, now I feel like that's slowly dying down, but which is, I don't know if that's still going towards the question, but yeah, no, that's 100% true. I think Dragon Ball Z, and I think you could even throw Pokemon in there. I think that's the other one that was kind of okay too.
Just gonna throw this out there. Ty in the chat was like hiding your power level. That's what it was like back then. You had to hide your power level. You couldn't let anybody know you had a power level of 9,000 plus. Like this manga stuff runs deep. This nerd stuff runs deep, but I can't let the world know yet. It's not the right time. It's not the right time for me to expose these powers.
Hiding your power low, that's funny.
Canadian Bear, what it do, Zach? What it do, little bro? But I was gonna also touch on just because of how great it has been. Like even when I look at it from the Eastern standpoint, they integrate this one thing of their culture so heavily into everything that I love watching when I do see them get to host like the Olympics. Like, is it this year you're gonna see like Luffy and Goku at the Olympics or whatever, or whenever the next one is or was? It's just they always have these great faceted things. Like their players aren't afraid to show who they are because it's just embedded in them. But like the newer players, they're letting it be known like, yeah, I like this. If I could Kamehameha at a 3-point, the 3-point line, I would. Like, just shoot it in there. Like, it's going to happen. But it's turned me on to so many more sports that I never thought that I'd actually want to look into, like baseball. I've watched 2 animes, like one called Major, and I'm watching Major second. Kind of got me into watching baseball a little bit. But then there's so many sports, even iShield. I was I liked football anyway before I watched iShield. iShield kind of just stamped it for me. I was like, okay. If football really did this, I wouldn't complain ever. I would never complain. I mean, I would love to see somebody, power up on the football field and rush through like a bull and, metaphorically speaking, transform. But, that ain't that's never gonna happen. Cause
got some bad news for you, buddy.
Exactly. Zach said, I'm a weeaboo the world needs but doesn't deserve. Man, I wouldn't really consider myself a weeaboo. I'm heavily invested in something that I've loved since I was a kid. Just off branch subject, man. I spend a lot of my time reading, watching shows. Going back to the taboo. My older cousins, I think I said this last time, they were your rough and tumble dope boys and thugs, but them boys loved watching anime and manga on the low. When they come home, I be sitting in there like, you out here in these streets frauding, but you watching Voltron eating popcorn right now. I don't know how to feel.
You big phony.
Exactly. You big fat phony. Ty said, we need more anime sports video games that are as awesome as you get in anime. Man, that would be cool. Yeah, I would love to play some anime sports games.
I mean, technically, NBA Street, man, was basically an anime sports game.
You're not lying, bro. You're not lying.
There's the facts.
That's so funny. That's so true.
Streets. I still wish they would bring Streets back out.
Yeah, they need to, dog.
Yeah, they trying.
Or even just remaster it. Just remaster
Playground, but it's not the same thing.
Yeah,
not at all. I feel like Playground's more NBA.
Oh, Jam. My fault. Yeah, I got Street mixed up. That was my guy with the afro on it. My bad.
Stretch.
My game.
Stretch.
Yep, mixed up my games.
Hey, Stretch was my whole team consisted of Stretch, Bonafide, and Jordan, and whoever else I felt just maybe somebody good.
Nah. I had to sub Stretch out once you get like Shaq and Yao. Oh yeah, Stretch is obsolete now.
But you know what was funny though? We done branched off to a whole other subject. We're gonna get back on topic, folks. I promise. Just whenever Bonafide would if try and make him jump at somebody that was a center, he'd be like, "You foul, Holmes?" I'm like, "But bro, you out here in like cargo pants and Timberlands with no shirt on, balling with a do rag on. What you expect?
Right.
You gonna get knocked over?"
Did. Mars got a good point. We did play an anime-like basketball game.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that.
Go ahead, touch on it. Like, what was it?
I forgot the name of the game, so that's why I didn't say nothing.
It was made by some they were either Korean. I think they were Korean.
Yeah, they were Korean.
Yeah, some Korean dudes. Yeah, barely spoke English, but the game was actually fun.
Yes.
It had some things that they could improve on, but it definitely had potential, man. Definitely.
100% agree with that.
Okay. Zach, non-Canadian Bear in the chat said Crunchyroll put out an article, and it's about an NFL football player who's heavily influenced by anime. There's a mural of him looking like Nappa. I would actually love to see that.
Yes. Shoot, what's his name? Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've seen the picture.
Oh my god. Yeah, NFL. I feel like because NFL already just has so many like chains on the players, and they can't really be personable, or they can't be on social media like that. So we don't know too many players that are open about anything, whether it be anime or just life, because that's where NBA has that freedom where you are your own person, but you are also representing the brand, but they let you live. But yeah, that was cool when he came out with that article and that picture, because it was like the first step. It was like, oh my gosh, we're getting to know this guy as the person, and he's into this kind of thing. Yeah, I feel like it's really cool. I cannot remember who it was. I'm looking it up.
Go ahead and look it up and let us know.
It's gonna drive me crazy. It's gonna drive me crazy.
I feel like with football though, man, it's like a different culture. Like they expect you to be this like tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you can't even like be open with the stuff you're into like you can with basketball.
Mike Daniels, that's right. He was on the he's a big fellow on the Green Bay Packers.
Gotcha. Well, I like to salute
not a household name, but still.
Exactly. Well, I would like to salute Mike Daniels for taking one step further into this nerd anime culture and letting it be known that even people who are this big and scary and could probably
big dude,
run you over, still like this stuff too. I mean, my homeboy, he's like I was telling y'all earlier, he's like a big John Coffey looking cat. Loves fighting games and anime and manga also. I mean, that boy is swole. I think last time I talked to him, he measured his arms out at like 26 inches. I was like, bro, that's just ridiculous. Wow. But you are so big soft cat too until it comes to something he's touchy on, and he turns into the Hulk. I'm like, okay,
it's something else.
Yeah, he a wild boy. But it's crazy. We asked one question and kind of delve into the second one that followed right behind it, because I was gonna ask, how do you feel about this out in the open nerdiness or otaku related behavior from stars and celebs? Like, it's just like, when we were growing up, it wasn't a normality. Now it's kind of becoming socially acceptable. It's becoming a norm. It's no longer taboo. Like and I feel like the biggest, well, not the biggest, but one of the people who put like just the stamp on the jar for us blurs. If you don't know what a blurred is, just a black nerd. And Michael B. Jordan, my man, like, he let it be known, like, yes, I like this, and the boys, he's hot right now. He's hot right now as far as being. I feel like he's the poster boy for black nerds now. Like he just took it upon himself. He thrust himself in a position to be that guy. I will be the head of. Yes, you don't have to be the black nerdy kid with the hairline like you got shaped up by a spoon with a watermelon in front. My afro is not lopsided on all but one side, but my glasses do not lean, and I call them alt-left anime black nerds.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Alt-left.
Ooh. Cause I mean, we're all under the umbrella. We're all nerds, but it's just like they're that one guy that's just a little too left for me to really be like, you went way beyond where I was gonna go with it. Like, I'm a nerd, and I'm socially fine with that. And I usually get that I'm the nerdiest guy out of even bigger nerds. being that I'm the only black nerd usually in my circles. But there's that particular fellow who goes above and beyond, like my man who went Super Saiyan. I'm sure you all know his name. I can't think of it at the time
Jaden.
right now.
His name is Jaden.
My man went Super Saiyan for the gram, for the world. He let the world
For
know
the
this was his
culture,
true
man.
form. He went
He was
Super
for the
Saiyan.
culture.
He let him know. He was like, send me.
Send me, gotta stay automatic, man.
Hey, multiplying
Call it mathematics, yeah.
for the culture.
Yeah. What I was gonna say about that is with Michael B. Jordan, when he said he liked anime, people lost their minds.
Mm-hmm.
And he even had his armor modeled after Vegeta's armor in Black
Exactly.
Panther.
Yep.
Which was a big deal to me because I didn't know that at first. I thought it looked
Yeah.
familiar, but then I read
Yeah.
about it.
I
was like,
didn't
okay,
either.
that
The
looks
exact same. The exact. I'm like, this is based off something, but you're just so into it, you don't think about it. And then when you hear the articles, like, oh, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off. That
familiar. It's all
blew my
good.
mind too.
So, with anime becoming more of a normalized thing and like more socially acceptable, it kind of goes off of what you said, Tez, with what you call the alt-right blurs, where just anime fans in general, you have
Yeah.
different levels of anime fans.
Yep.
Like
There's
when I
levels
was
to
in high
geekdom.
school,
For those who don't know, there are many levels to geekdom.
when I was in high school, I read manga in class, but I was also on the football team. I was in a jazz band.
Respect.
I just did what I wanted to do.
Facts.
So people ask me about what are you reading? I'm reading a manga. What is that? And then one of those kids in the class that runs like they're a ninja from Naruto
Lord.
would go ahead and say what it was, and then they go, "Oh, he knows what it is." But at the same time, since I was sitting there reading it, some people would have questions. They'd ask, they'd be interested, and I think that's what it takes for it to become more normalized, for more people that seem more relatable and more normal, so to speak, for lack of a better word,
Yeah.
to enjoy stuff like that. And when they see that, they're like, oh, maybe it is all right for me to watch this or be open about it. Because when people think anime nerd or manga nerd, they think of those people that wear Leaf Village headbands to school and have Sharingan.
I knew a few of those alt-left nerds in school
Yeah, just the
too.
Or
facts.
run with their arms behind their back.
I mean, I
or
liked it,
power
but
up
I wasn't that serious.
Whenever they get
boy.
mad, some people start grunting and yelling when they get angry, hoping that something's gonna happen. And that type of stuff, like that's what people see. That's the impression they get normally when they think anime fan. But you have to. Another thing is, anime comes from the East. It's over from Asia. But you'll have all of these people, whether they be famous or normal, that watch Saturday morning cartoons, and that's viewed as normal. It's because it's something different and it's from somewhere else that makes it such a weird thing to people. It's not American. It's in a different language.
Yeah.
It's not what we're used to. Anything people aren't used to, they're gonna look at funny at first.
Oh, always. Like Zach in the chat, he was just saying he used to get bullied for liking anime. I was like, I never got bullied, but I was definitely the subject of ridicule sometimes. Because I had my little squad, me, my little homeboys. We were like the guys who either were drawing, playing Pokemon or Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that. But then, I always would come back to, like, as we got a little bit older, I find them same cats who was clowning. I'm like, hold on. My guy, you playing this now? Like, what's this? You like Yu-Gi-Oh?
Now it's cool.
Yeah, now you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh? No, bro, don't come at me like that. You can't be. I was trying to get back at him, but it wasn't like that. It's all love though. But yeah, it's just everybody's gonna be like, oh, it's different. I don't like it at first until it becomes something normal. Like my mother still could never get stuff right. Whenever I would be like, I like this, or she'd be like, for Pokemon, she'd be like, Pokemon. I'm like, Mama, it's.
Oh yeah,
please.
that's the Pokemon.
I'm like,
That's
please.
My mama did it too,
I be
man.
like,
Every
please stop.
anime is
Or
Pokemon.
Digimon. I'm like, it's Digimon. It's short for monster, mama. Come on.
See, my parents were weird, man. I got the Pokemons, but then they, for whatever reason, all of a sudden they know how to say Digimon. They'll say Digimon fine. I mean, they'll still call every Digimon a Digimon, but they would call it Digimon. It's just they couldn't get Pokemon right. I'm like, it's the same. Like,
It's
the
Mon.
Just say Mon. Like, we are from the islands. Why are you messing up the word Mon? Like, come on now.
Facts. You straight from an island. I don't know why they couldn't get it right.
Oh my god.
And my mom introduced me to anime.
Yeah, you was telling us
That's
about
awesome.
that last one. Like, I wish.
That's dope.
Yeah. showed me Princess Mononoke, and it was smooth sailing from there.
Bro, all it takes, man, is just one person. Like usually, especially like when you're in school and stuff like that, it takes one person, one cool person, I say, to
Mars,
say,
what the hell are
"Hey,
you
I
talking
like
about?
this." You know what I'm saying? I be watching this, and then everybody's okay with it for the most part.
Exactly.
I feel like that's what it took for the world, like seeing all these popular figures liking anime and stuff like that, and now they're like, okay, you know
Mhm.
what? I can open up about this because I feel like there was a lot of undercover anime fans. You know what I mean?
Oh, for
Watching
real.
it in their basement,
Yep.
but we out in the streets thugging and whatnot. But that's all it
Zach,
took. Man.
I'll ask him.
I
Can
was
they
friends with a lot of
ask about
thugs,
that?
and what I would do
before we
with
get-
friends
before
that
we
were
get back to
thugs,
the
they're just
next
normal
topics?
friends that didn't watch anime. If they came to the crib or anything like that, I just have anime playing on purpose, just because I wanted
Also,
to
for
see.
anybody watching this later, if you do hear
let
me
see
speaking at
see
any
if they
moments
start
like
asking
these,
questions.
I'm just
Sure
muting
enough,
myself from
every
the guys to
time,
answer a few questions.
even
in
my
chat,
brother
because
used to
this
make
is
fun of
also
me.
live
He came in the house, I was watching
at
Dragon Ball Z.
twitch.tv/Tesmo_.
We were grown men at this point. He was looking. He was like, I kind of see why you fucks with this now. I kind of see why you like it.
It usually starts through video games, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Budokai, all that good stuff. You start
Yeah,
playing Budokai with them, they like, hey.
KDJ, back to what you said though. With a lot of these figures, we could also say some people are hype training it. Like I don't know, I can't particularly say that you do or don't, or you're just trying to ride off the coattails of somebody else who said that they like something, and oh yeah, I like it too. And I'm just gonna throw out Kim K. Because I can't remember what it was she was talking about, or she was watching some particular anime and kind of liked it, and she was like, she's watching it religiously now or something like that. I'm like, what was it? But I was like, why all of a sudden now you want to let the world know you like anime? Like for them, I never know what to think about any Kardashian that says they're doing anything under the sun at all whatsoever.
Well, she said Kanye introduced her to a lot of anime.
Okay, if it was Kanye who did it, then
Yeah, and we know Kanye likes anime. I mean, his song "Stronger," the video was based off of Akira,
yeah.
so you know that he already liked anime. So that made sense to me.
Factuals. We got a request in the chat for you guys who weren't here last time. Me and Ella Trey went over this, but to CK and KDJ, non-Canadian Bear asked he would like you both to talk about how you first got into anime. So whichever you guys want to take the floor on it, because we still have some other subjects to crush, but the fact that we knocked out 2 of the topics already within the first, we'll branch off in just one other little avenue. Let the people know how you got introduced to it, where your love for it came from, what was what put you into this realm, what solidified I like this genre, this particular type of animation and art style.
I feel like we gonna have the same answer. So
Yeah, you can go first. My story is pretty boring. I mean, I don't know. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I mean, mine's pretty boring too. I mean, it was so I'll just say it. It was literally just first Toonami and then Adult Swim. Like that's what got me into anime. And then I didn't realize that I liked shonen. You know what I'm saying? That was my primary source of anime until later on, because I didn't know what shonen was. I didn't know there were different categories of anime and stuff like that. But yeah, it was definitely Dragon Ball Z, and then started watching stuff like Paranormal Agent, freaking Fully Cully, S. Cryed, all that.
That's
man.
God. That's one of the gods right there.
S. Cryed,
I'm not hop on that. I'm not gonna hop on that right now. But continue.
You're the first person I talked to that actually knew what that was.
Ooh, that's
So,
my
good
show,
looking out,
boy.
man. But yeah, CK, what you got, man?
My story is boring. I honestly, it's because I love cartoons. I draw, I do all that stuff. So as a kid, I loved watching the Ed and Eddies and those kind of shows. But then I remember, well, of course, like everyone, we were watching Pokemon and everything at a young age. But then I think it was probably Dragon Ball Z was probably the first one that I saw the show was drawn like Pokemon. I'm like, why is this show drawn differently? Why does it not look like Ed and Eddie and da 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 da? And then that's when I started finding out that was its own genre within itself, this whole anime thing. And then I jump on the the Digimon, Zoids, Tenchi Muyo was probably one of my first like heavy hitting animes that I watched and got into. But it was honestly just because, like I said, I like to draw. I drew a lot as a kid. I was a quiet kid. And
Same.
I was really intrigued with how the different art styles from the shows that we're accustomed to on Cartoon Network and Nickelodeon, and we saw that these shows are like this, and there's more emotion in their reactions and stuff like that, and there's more story to it. And I love that. So and just like KJ said, then next thing you know, then I'm on Toonami, and then boom from there. I will say though, I didn't stick on growing up. I couldn't tell you why. I just I still know my stuff, but I'm not like you guys.
Yeah.
When it comes to level of expertise and all that stuff. But
Oh no,
I still heavily respect and still love everything about anime and stuff like that, which is why I was glad that you still wanted me on here, even though I know I was I'm the token sports guy, which is fine, but yeah, no, that's literally how it.
You
how
are
it
the
started
token
off.
sport. I mean, it's fine, but there's still plenty of sports animes that I'm watching, CK, because in the future I do have, like how you have this is not a piggyback off of CK2K, just how you have CK2K. I actually want to do reviews for anime and sports mangas, and I would love to have your intake on that. Like, you can help me get my analysis and in-depth reviews
100%.
right.
If Mars is still in the chat, ask Mars. I had a whole conversation with Mars about telling him just go on the internet and just express your love for whatever it is you love, and then just have fun with it and let the rest take its place. Because that's exactly what I did with CK2K.
Yeah.
Literally, this channel was supposed to be just a second channel where I could get my basketball itch out, because CKTV, that just never caught on. 2K never caught on. Me talking about Knicks on like Twitter, so it never caught on. But that's what I love. That was my real love. So then I just made the second channel so I can get that out. And then here we are, 8 months later, and 5,000 subscribers and stuff like that. So it's like, honestly, I love that idea for you, man. Just go for everybody. Like, just pursue your love, pursue what you enjoy, pursue your passion, and let the rest fall in place, man.
Oh yeah, facts. Just in baby steps.
100%. You just
CK's editing keeps me engaged in his YouTube videos.
True,
100%.
very true.
Yeah, I love his editing. It's
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
But have y'all heard of the YouTubers RDC World 1?
No.
So it's pretty much a group of blurs that live together in Texas.
That's dope.
CK, haven't heard of them? They do like the Black Avengers and like,
Black Avengers,
yes,
Hood
okay,
Avatar.
all right. Yes, all right, yeah.
That's
Later,
RDC World 1.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah, they're having their own con sometime soon in Texas.
Right. Okay.
But yeah,
that's why I answered like that. I wasn't sure. Okay, go ahead.
I liked their videos a lot because that goes back to that earlier question, just because they showed that you could be in the sports real heavy and still like anime and all that type of stuff. Like when they said when dudes take anime too far. I love that video. But then a few months later, he's got those LeBron in the locker room compilations.
Yup.
But I like their mix of like sports and anime that they threw in, what they had to offer, and they have blown up. They're super popular. So, like you said, there's a lot of closet nerds out there.
I mean, it's a lot of them. There are a lot of closet nerds. If y'all could give me one quick second, if I can have y'all just a quick call, I just like to throw this out there. At any point, when you are listening to this audio, if you hear me branch off and or say anything else to someone who isn't the guy who isn't one of these fellows on the panel, I am just answering questions in the chat, because this is also streamed over at my Twitch page at twitch.tv at twitch.tv/Tesmo_Gizmo. Forgive me for the hiccups. I'm still getting used to this. I have to. I have to let them know. So yeah, just that's just a heads up, guys. So don't think I'm randomly talking to myself or trying to be under or over talked to. Now back to what these guys were saying. There are a lot of us out there who, they want to let the world know that we don't have to be in the closet about it. But RDC World definitely were one of the few guys who kept me engaged with a lot of their nerd stuff, because I'm like, bro, two of them almost make me feel like alt left, but they're not alt left blurs. Just two, but they are still funny, and they definitely rep the culture super duper hard. They like the Hood Avatar. I advise anyone who hasn't seen the Hood Avatar, please watch the Hood Avatar.
Yes. Please watch it.
Watch the Hood Avatar, bro.
Watch Video Game House. It's like the real world with video game characters. Hilarious. King Vader is another one.
Yes.
Yeah, nah,
King
yeah.
Vader, Caleb
Love King
City,
Vader.
like all of
Dude
those
kills
cats.
me, yo.
King Vader killed that Naruto dance battle.
Man. Episode 3 still my favorite one, dog.
What is episode 3? Let me see. Is
That's the
episode
one
3
where
one with
Goku and
Sasuke?
Trunks came in. Yeah, that one with
Oh,
Sasuke.
okay.
Yeah.
I like 4.
What was
one
the new
where,
one?
one where All Might drops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Hey, Dead Hero, thank you for the 7 months in a row being subscribed, fam. Appreciate it so much.
Taz, you got to get some sub badges.
Yeah, bro.
I'm
I'm
working on my sub badges right now.
Yeah.
They
I
are
just
getting
uploaded mine
done.
last night.
They are getting done. I have a lot of stuff getting done. My panels, my new offline screen, the sub badges. I got a lot of stuff in the works. I'm trying to get, Tesmo Gizmo off the ground.
Tesmo_Gizmo.
No, it's just it's all Tesmo Gizmo, but the Twitch page is Tesmo_Gizmo. I even want some. I'm actually gonna working on getting a hat with little Gizmo put on the front of it. One of my homeboys, he actually does. He does clothing and branding and labeling up here. I work with on the side. He has his own little line, and I showed him my little guy. My creative idea brought to life by Santi Wolf, great artist. And he was like, "Yeah, we can definitely get that put on some merch, like real soon." So I'm not sure, but just small things going, just small things in the works to try and fund
showcase
this.
some of Santi Wolf's work.
Yes,
In the chat.
yes. Just definitely trying to get some stuff plugged out and plugged in. But we're just taking baby steps. But I'd like to thank everybody who's here right now, watching, listening to us do this. I'm trying to do this every other Saturday, if not every Saturday, if possible, with rotating people in and out. Whether it be these guys here or just myself sometimes. We just want to get on and talk to y'all, see what y'all got going on. And if at any point you want to put anything in the chat or a question you may want to have asked that's anime, manga related, throw it in there at me, at any one of the guys in here, because a few of them are mods in the stream also, so they'll be able to see it, let me know. We just gonna keep the ball rolling.
Sure, for
Keep
sure.
the ball rolling.
Yes, you liked that, didn't you? All right. On to the next subject, man. This one right here, though. This one can raise a few hairs, and I want us to really dive deep into this one because it can go so many ways.
All right, let's argue. I already know what the question is.
Yes.
Let's argue.
Western versus Eastern anime. Which one is better than the other? But also, why can't they both reign supreme?
So, Tez, I'm real happy for you, and I'm gonna let you finish. But there is no such thing as Western anime.
Yeah, big facts,
Bro.
Big facts.
You can't. Okay, I'm just gonna say you can't say somebody who draws anime on the West Coast that their art style isn't anime. Therefore, I'm just saying it's Western animation.
Their art style is anime, but anime has a specific definition where it's required to come from Asia.
Ooh.
Just by definition, but I mean, you can break the norm, bro. It don't have to just be that.
Like I don't mind cartoons inspired by anime. I love them. I love them.
Okay,
to death.
I'm a
Avatar,
place
The
on the
Last
floor.
Airbender is
Exactly. It's
incredible.
like Avatar. No one couldn't tell me Avatar was an anime, bro. I was in love with anime. Or even Dead Hero in the chat, he said Ruby, Teen Titans, the original one. Like they all seem like anime to me because they were
They're
so
anime
Nah,
inspired.
they're not
They're
anime.
I
anime
know they aren't,
inspired.
but still, they
But-
were pretty fire. But still,
That's
why
I
can't they
that's why I
both
said
reign?
Let's argue.
I'm just saying.
So it goes with anything like this. Anything that's inspired by something else, you're always gonna have those hipsters, so to speak. That's just like I was watching it when it was anime, or it's never gonna be as good as the original. Or people that watch a sequel to a movie, it's never as good as the first one. And that's gonna be the issue. Like I love anime inspired television.
Yeah.
I love it. And I'm working on something myself that's similar. But when people sit there and try to tell me, like, I don't even try to compare Western inspired Western TV shows that are inspired by anime and just anime from the East. I try not to compare the two because it's really not a fair fight at this point because Western TV hasn't made it to the point or solidified itself the way anime has. There are thousands of anime. but it's ridiculous, and even more manga. But here,
That's the point.
you have graphic novels and comic books that are reigning supreme. So until you get that source material behind it, that's really going to support any TV shows that are similar to anime over here, it will never be a fair fight between the two. And Eastern anime is always going to reign supreme. Not to say that I wouldn't want it to change. Like, I'd like them both to get their shine. But like I said, it's not a fair fight at this point.
Yeah, it's not a fair fight yet. You're right. I'm gonna let somebody else take the floor because I'm gonna get winded. I'm definitely gonna be a windy one. Go ahead, CK, KDJ. Y'all want to throw some on?
Like Nella said, there's no such thing as Western anime, bro. Like, it's big facts. Like, I mean, as far as animation goes, the Western world, I don't know if the Western world will ever get on par with how anime is done, especially like high profile anime is done in in the Eastern world, like the high quality animation. Like Avatar was as close as we got. That's as good as it could get for,
You forgetting
for us.
Shaolin Showdown, bro.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's crude animation. For like Western animation is more crude than Eastern. Like, they try to go for in the East, they try to go for the lifelike, but at the same time still keeping that anime like feel in their animation. But in the West, like we don't do that. We go for the full cartoony experience. And like I said, just fight scenes and just animation in general aren't as refined.
I think that goes into the budget too.
Yeah, because of the audience.
Yeah, there's so much pumped into anime in Japan, and there's not going to be as much pumped into cartoons in America because people in America are greedy, especially these big corporations. So they're not going to pump a lot of money into something that's new, and they don't know if it's going to succeed yet or not.
Yeah, for sure.
So they're just like, no, we don't really want to put a lot of money into this, and that's where the crude animation comes from. You're not going to get as much detail and as much beauty as you normally would get. Like Avatar: The Last Airbender was the only one I saw that did it. Like he says, as close as you're going to get. And they came out with graphic novels, all this type of stuff. And also, anime is usually more adult than cartoons. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay,
it's fine. CK,
no.
You want to throw on the floor, bro?
Oh, no, Trey debunked my argument already from the jump, so I ain't got nothing to So I'm letting y'all have at it. I know when to be a referee and when to be a fighter.
All right. So me, I'm gonna throw out three particular ones that I felt had a reasoning behind why I said like why can't they both like I said, which one's better? We obviously know which one's better, but why can't they both reign supreme? I had American Dragon Jake Long. I also had Code Lyoko. I also had Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Jackie Chan Adventures.
I mean, these are all, like you said, Eastern inspired. But then I'm also give you a subcategory of just, you got Chinese anime and Korean anime. They're not the same as, Japanese fully, but they're all different. But now Western, it's still beautiful. Yes, we know it's cartoony and they're shooting more for a realistic approach, but why is it that you still can't call it what it is? I don't care even if it's a cartoon, because they still, when we were growing up, what did anybody call anime? Oh, that's a cartoon. You watching cartoons. You too grown to be watching what? Cartoons. So it didn't matter if it was, we know what it is now, what it is then compared to what we got today. I still just felt like there are some good ones who took, there's some good ones. We got some good ones. There's still plenty being made now that I find randomly when I'm searching through TV, or a lot of them that are inspired. Like a lot of these newer cartoons don't seem very cartoony. They seem very adult and like over the heads of most little children if you don't know what some of this stuff is, like Eastern animation. So I'm just like, they still both have their own playground, but I feel like one isn't necessarily better than the other when it comes to realistic animation.
Not crude.
The ones I watch aren't crude.
Every one of them that you name, as far as Western goes, is the animation anywhere close to on par with Eastern animation?
Some, not all.
Which ones?
Not all.
Which ones?
I just said I just named them, bro. They were pretty
That's
good.
what I'm saying. No,
Okay,
Those
so
are the ones.
even with Jackie Chan Adventures and American Dragon, Jake Long, love those shows.
The Amdrag,
Animation
bro.
wasn't on point with them. Animation was nowhere close to touching something like
the first two
Attack on
seasons?
Titan.
Bro, come
Like,
on. We
come
know.
on,
Okay,
bro.
how would you feel if they actually put a Jackie Chan Adventures in Attack on Titan animation? I wouldn't even know how to feel. My heart would drop. I'd be like, that's too real. It's too
okay,
real.
so here's mine, and I won't even use animation.
All right.
Plot and story. So let's use Shaolin Showdown as an example.
Yeah.
Before I get to Avatar, Shaolin Showdown had like, if you took the main plot and made it into episodes, it's probably 10 episodes long.
Facts. I will agree with you.
Like, I enjoyed the show. I love the show to death. But if you take the story and use the main plot, you have about 10 episodes worth of material and then a bunch of what we would call fillers for anime in between. What anime would you tolerate that many fillers for besides Naruto?
I was just going to say, Naruto is the only one I've ever tolerated
but
that
even
much
with Naruto,
of.
most people just skip the fillers.
You damn right, I sure did.
You
After I
didn't,
started
but you
reading.
didn't skip. You didn't skip all those episodes of Shaolin Showdown.
Big facts. Because something
Because
significant was
from an
happening.
American cartoon, you expect it to be that way.
Mhm.
You're not expecting to be super plot heavy like you would from an anime. And then Avatar: The Last Airbender was plot heavy, and which is why I think it was one of the more successful ones.
But you know
Super
what,
plot
though?
heavy show.
I'm
What?
gonna interject. Like, when you just said that, the only reason why we view that from Western animation, but most of their fillers still tie into the story. It's never like everything from, Naruto's fillers. Most of Naruto's fillers were never canon. Because I can recall several episodes when the Jinchuriki, who were later shown in the show, got introduced to Naruto super early when he was still tiny and barely even had his first. He hadn't even gone through the Sasuke and Naruto fight, but he had already met the Six Tails and discovered all these legendary swords in X, Y, and Z. I just said Z. I meant Z. The Canadian came out. And I'm just like, yeah. But in Western stuff, all their filler stuff still ties into the story. It's not like it didn't play some pivotal point. That's why, I mean, just to touch on that. Continue.
Pivotal is a strong word. Be careful.
I'm just saying it's still tied in some matter. Like, you didn't see, like, okay, we'll use the example of when, this is the one I'm talking about, when Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, they were still Team 6, very young. Sasuke hadn't even got the curse mark yet. Naruto, like, he was nowhere close to leaving the village. They went on, it was a filler arc where they had to go rescue some girl, but it was also involved one of the legendary swords that Orochimaru was trying to track down. Remember, when they first introduced Orochimaru, his big thing was getting all the legendary swords until that branched into something else. He was trying to get the legendary sword, which ended up being Itachi's blade that his Susanoo had, which never had a physical form. He already had a legendary sword, like the one, Kisame used, which later Killer Bee had, or the one that Durai had that the two, the Silver and Gold twins ended up having that could, seal you if you spoke. Yeah.
I swear his name is Darui, but you got it.
I thought it was Durai. Sorry, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that.
You good.
Durai, but yeah. The new Raikage, the young cat with the Gale style.
Darui.
Yeah, him. So I'm just like, they introduced all that and it never it never came back up, or like they just shunned it. Because when Naruto met old boy again, or when he heard about the Six Tails, I'm like, you already met this guy previously. Even knew he was a Jinchuriki because he told Naruto he was a Jinchuriki. But this is before like Naruto really knew he had the tail beast like that within himself. And I'm just like, why are you acting like you never met this man? Why are you acting like you don't know what this sword is? And that's my same gripe when it comes to like Pokemon movies. Because I'm like, bro, Ash, you done met all these legendaries, my dude, but you swerving down, you never seen them. I'm like, so when, but with Western stuff, if they ever even branch off into an episode that was just like a form of plot or character building, it still came back up as if it was relevant and it existed. It wasn't just a not thing that didn't happen. So go.
Well, that's also a major difference. Like if you have Shaolin Showdown versus Naruto, you don't have a manga to go back to and check for source material with Shaolin Showdown. That's another thing. That's another huge deal when you see a difference between Western cartoons and Asian anime. There's a difference there because there's usually source material. There's a comic somewhere. There's a source material with comic book cartoons like DC and Marvel, But with normal cartoons that are anime inspired, they don't have the knowledge and experience to release a manga or a graphic novel first. The only thing I've seen do that is the Boondocks. And even when they did it, the graphic novels aren't like the show.
Can we take a moment and just, praise Aaron McGruder for how godly the Boondocks is? And was?
Yeah, nah, the Boondocks was basically an anime, man.
Yep.
It was a black anime. I don't care what nobody says.
It was. Riley and Yui's, mostly Yui's fight scenes. He took that man's fight scene straight out of Naruto, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hero said something about that, like when the Boondocks copy shot for shot the Sasuke Orochimaru fight, and I've seen them overlaid on top of each other. It's the same fight.
Just
The
want to
disciples of Steep Mana, man.
them old heads.
Yeah, man, Red Fox and
Red Fox, JJ Walker, and what's his name? The sister. Who was it?
Esther.
Esther, ugly butt.
Yeah, Esther. But my main thing with it is, like, it at some point it may be a fair fight, but right now it's not a fair fight in the least, because anything that's inspired by Eastern culture that makes its way over here to the U.S. for us, I'll go back to the plot thing. Let's say, let's think of an action anime. Let's go with, trying to think of a shorter one.
The Origami?
I was gonna say ReZero.
Yeah, ReZero. Yep, that's one of my favorites. I respect it.
This is a huge difference right here, and I'm gonna reference Legend of Korra here. When Legend of Korra tried to push that boundary a little bit and make it a little more adult, they immediately got taken off of TV, and you had to watch it on Nickelodeon streaming service. So you could not watch it on TV. I like Legend of Korra, but I'll get into that in a minute. But the thing is, with these TV shows like Shaolin Showdown or Jackie Chan Adventures, American Dragon, even Avatar: The Last Airbender, how many episodes did you see that there were actually real stakes? Was anybody's life in danger? Did you actually feel like somebody was gonna die?
Yeah, a few times. Well,
which one?
Just Avatar.
Just Avatar.
In Avatar, a few times I did, boy. I was like, hey.
People died in Legend of Korra, but in Avatar: The Last Airbender, nobody really died. You even found out Zuko's mama wasn't dead.
What you talking about? Whatchamacallit? His uncle.
Iroh?
Yeah.
Iroh never died?
He ain't
Iroh
died?
didn't die? He just meditated until he faded away.
Well, that's death.
No, he just went to the spirit world. He fine. He kicking it.
What? Spirit world is death.
No, people freely made trips to the
still
spirit
alive.
world. People freely made trips to the
He
spirit world.
became one with the Force in the Avatar world. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Y'all got it.
He achieved such tranquility that he just he faded away. But
I mean, it's the same as old boy who he cast away, like remember the one monk they always spoke about, Monk Gyatso, who let everything go and attained a higher plane of airbending to where he could actually freely fly in the air.
That's Legend of Korra. That's Legend of Korra.
I know that's what I was saying. That
differences. Legend of Korra, there was death, there were real stakes, and then because of that, they were like, "No, we can't leave this on the network. This has to go on the online streaming type of thing." And that's one of the main reasons why it can't compete right now, because people are too easily offended in the U.S. They don't want their kids to watch anything. So as soon as something even shows the types of stakes that you see in an anime, like Attack on Titan,
about that running. You better stop now.
Attached to a single character, they die the next episode.
Yeah.
Attack on Titan is like the Game of Thrones of anime, man. So don't get attached to nobody because they will die.
A lot of anime is geared more towards teenagers and adults. So that's one of the other major differences. Cartoons here, of course, adults watch cartoons. There's nothing wrong with that. But
I was gonna ask that too, CK. You saw it. What about SWAT Cats, America's first furry anime?
Well, yeah, nothing's wrong with watching cartoons as an adult, but at the same time, it's not really made for adults. But there's some anime out there that you're not gonna let your kids watch.
All right, okay. So we've already decided who reigns supreme. Now I'm gonna take this back, and I'm gonna pick two pivotal points. If we talked about old Japanese anime, it looks just like original, current modern westernized cartoons. Now I give this off of just one example of a show or two shows. You could take two, yeah. Astro Boy and Gigantor the Space Age Robot. I'm not sure if any of y'all know of this. I only knew about it
I know about those.
my older cousin, well, not Astro Boy because they did a reboot of that, but Gigantor the Space Age Robot was a really old anime that my cousins who are in their 50s and 40s now watched when they were just little kids, like maybe 8 to 7 years old. And it was rare that it came on this one random channel that used to be fuzzy, but on certain days out of the week they would hit it and it would pick up from somewhere, and they get actually sit down and watch it. But now when I looked at it several years later on Toonami, when they had the anime, was it the week where they do all the anime stuff and be showing different shows and music videos and things like that, Gigantor the Space Age Robot was one of the things that came on. So now we picked old Hanna-Barbera cartoons versus early 80s and 90s animation. How do you think they stack up?
The Eastern is still better.
No, not KDJ. I know you at a computer right now. Look up Gigantor the Space Age Robot original and go look up any old Hanna-Barbera cartoon. Snagglepuss, Huckleberry Hound, whatever you want. How do you think they would? Oh yeah, Hong Kong. Man, Hong Kong food was the go.
Hong Kong food was tough, but yeah, no, bro.
So
I had to.
You killed that though. I ain't gonna lie to
a
you.
complex answer. Because I wouldn't necessarily say either one. Like, I wouldn't say they stack against each other. And I will say that, like, I think that the West and the East draws inspiration off of each other.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, it's how it works. But at the same time, if I'm sitting here and I want to watch something silly, like, I want to watch something silly, I want to laugh a little bit, watch something way out there, I'll probably turn on a Western cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But if I want to sit down and I want to watch something with a heavy plot, or for me to get attached to the characters and invested, I'm gonna watch anime. So that's why it's hard to compare the two. And in their own way, they can both reign supreme. But it's kind of like watching. It's like saying I want to watch a funny movie versus I want to watch a horror movie. Like they're different, and even if it's inspired by anime, it's still gonna be different. So I think that like people have to stop trying to compare the two and just accept that if they accept them as different, they'll be able to enjoy both a lot more. And with Astro Boy, Gigantor, and then the classic cartoons, back then anime wasn't nearly as prevalent in the US as it is.
No.
So of course the cartoons were going to reign supreme at that point.
Well, I wasn't saying like, how they reign supreme, just saying if you had to stack up, like when I looked at Gigantor the Space Age Robot, it looked no different than watching a cartoon on the West. But I knew it was completely different because of the story, like kind of how it took place and what they were speaking on. Like I said the other day, I didn't know Goku was Asian until for the longest. I just thought he was white. But
Goku is saying,
you know what I mean. But still, I thought he was just a white dude. I just thought he was a white guy the whole time, all my life. But I mean, he's not, based to be white or any of the other people.
Back when Gigantor was a thing. This is back when like the 50s cartoons were like, that was the animation style. There wasn't any other animation style. That's how everything was drawn. I'm pretty sure Disney laid that groundwork, but that's just how everything was drawn. Like anime evolved. And I don't even know if they would consider, I'm looking up Gigantor now. I don't know if they call it an anime. It is an anime adaptation.
Yeah, there was also a reboot of Gigantor the Space Age Robot.
There was?
Sorry,
they came out in 1980.
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Hey, Jay, damn it! Thank you for the follow, fam. I appreciate you for coming through, man. He says he don't know anything about anime at all, but I saw sports in the title, but the conversation is good.
So I think that when they saw like what Disney was doing with like what I don't know what it's called, Mickey Mouse on the ship, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
They saw that type of animation and they liked it, so they modeled themselves after it. And then I think anime evolved into its own thing later on. And it was probably like older titles like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and stuff like that had its own individual art style that caused that breakout.
Yeah, now see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that, you know, the kind of animation we have now, that there wasn't anything like it on the, it was lower level than how it is now at such a high mainstream look. But just some of the big ones that most folks that would know from here and there, like Astro Boy and Gigantor, they aren't little names. Like, if you asked any old head who knew about these on the West or East, like, they're gonna know about these. Like, these are some of the groundbreakers that definitely bridge the gap, because you weren't gonna see nobody watching you know, JoJo early, at least from where I came from, but they would look at Gigantor because it looked just like anything else you could see on TV that was in black and white at the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was just saying. How would you say that they stack up those old animations versus the old Western, you know, side by side? I mean, I my personal opinion is that I think they both, at that time, because of animation, somebody getting riled up in the back.
You can hear her?
Yeah, it's all good. Miss Nye. I just thought they both were, you know, pretty well placed at that point in time. But we already know where we are now, animation wise, from the East compared to where animation is in the West. Yeah, they're very different. But I also ask you this: we got a good question in the chat that I want to see if y'all can answer, or may want to put some your 2 cents in on it.
I'm ready.
So let me ask: would you rather see an anime director and writer work with a Western crew, or a Western director write with an anime crew? Like, which one? Now I'm gonna get the two smaller denizens of this just to answer first for me and Trey. Get the gabbing on it. CK, would you rather see an anime director and writer work with a Western crew, or a Western director writer work with an anime crew?
Before I even answer that question, is that realistic?
It can happen. I don't know if it has happened already, but it can happen. I don't see why not.
Wouldn't you rather? What benefit comes from? What was the second option?
A Western director writer with an anime crew. So like you take somebody with
okay. I take that. My bad.
Gotcha.
But wouldn't that be similar to what we're already having right now? Because I mean, it's already, a lot of the Western stuff is already inspired by a lot of these stuff. I just feel like Trey was saying, like it just doesn't hit the, I don't know if it can ever hit the what makes anime, because over here where we are in the States, we can't do anything too heavy without it offending anybody. So it's just, I feel like even if we were to, oh, there she is. Even if we were to, you know, make it the best detail, the best, you know, looking thing, best storyline, I just feel like it would not survive, because then we're going to be hearing any kind of argument to try to get it off the networks or anything like that. So realistically, I don't know how to answer that question. That's just where we are in today's day and age in 2018. You know what I mean?
But that comes from Eastern anime makers knowing their audience, yo. Like,
that's what I'm saying. But we adapt that over here? Is my question with that. So even if, because that is what the answer I want to go with. But then it's like, you do that, but how long is it gonna last out here?
It's just because we don't, like, as far as anime goes, for the most part, America doesn't have the same social tenets as Japan and things like that have. So all that type of comedy that they have in like Japanese anime, like the raunchy comedy, that's not really raunchy.
Raunchy comedy,
like real rap, man. It's like raunchy comedy.
It is.
It's all sexual innuendos. Like, that's literally it. But like, we can't do that over here, or that's labeled like too adult for TV. You know what I mean?
Can you imagine if they put fan service in an American cartoon?
Exactly. It's a wrap. Because America brands cartoons is something for children. Like that's it.
100%.
Like there's nothing past that. It's for children.
I wish they would stop lying, because every show I've seen come out on Cartoon Network in the last 5 years, boy, the underlining adult tone to them cartoons.
Stop lying.
Yeah, like regular show, Adventure Time.
We Are Bears, like all these shows.
The company I work for got a whole channel made around exposing those points in all the TV shows that we grew up watching.
Yeah, I saw like the Powerpuff Girls. Like, little girl was like, the professor made us in his lab. We were a mistake. Yeah, my dad said I was too. I'm like, what?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that flies over your head as a kid. You're like, oh, it's just some, I wouldn't even care. And I'm like, I just want to see Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup beat somebody up.
Because
It's
I feel like
it's like that time I watched Rocco's Modern Life again.
Oh yeah, with Mrs. Big Head. Oh baby.
Rocco was a sex
He was
operator.
letting them have it on the phone, boy.
That was his job. Yeah.
That's crazy. But somebody said, Nella Trey, you were saying Speed Racer in the chat. I was gonna hint at Speed Racer.
yeah.
Speed Racer looked like anything else I was watching on TV, and I loved it. Haha, pops. Haha. I'm like, I love Speed Racing.
Hoo-ha-ho!
Exactly. Hopping inside, bro. He's so animated just to hop in the car and race.
Extras.
But I feel like that was a parody of
Right.
That's why they were doing that.
I don't care. It was still
there's
great.
a few questions in the chat.
Go ahead. Pop them off. Pop them off. If I didn't catch them, let it be known. Take the floor.
Well, like going off what Dead Hero initially asked. So when he asked about the anime director thing, so I would love to see if they decided to do a live action anime movie over here, like they have many times. I would love to see an Eastern director come over to oversee it. But when this happens, and this is why it won't work, every time this happens, they fire the guy from the East. Every time. And the perfect example of this is a movie I'd never speak of, but I'm gonna have to. It's Dragon Ball Evolution.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Dragon Ball Evolution.
Sir?
It's the extremest of extremes when we're talking about this. But Akira Toriyama was overseeing this project at first, but they fired him because he wanted too much creative control.
It was his
That's
creation.
what I'm saying. Exactly. And this is why it will never work in America, because people's egos are too big, and it's about money.
Can we take a moment of silence and just pray that nothing like that ever happens again?
Data Dave, what's up?
Oh, Shucky Ducky, Dada the Dave that came through.
Hey, what's up, man?
What it do, Dave?
Yeah, you have Akira Toriyama created. He drew and wrote Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. And when he wanted creative control for Dragon Ball Evolution, they fired him.
He said, I heard DBZ Evolution.
The writer and director for Dragon Ball Evolution didn't even watch the show. His kid did.
Bro, that movie.
So,
I was so hyped for it till I saw it.
You see the result. You see the result of that. And it's awful every time. And with Western directors over on the East, it would be tough. It would be tough, but I think like somebody like Quentin Tarantino could pull it off. I think he could. But until people drop their egos and let go of all that stuff and not be so afraid to do something different, because all these companies are so worried about money. If something tanks, like nowadays they pump so much money into these projects. If it fails, the company's gonna go under.
I put another one on the floor there, Trey. Like, even though it was Western, I feel like if it had an Eastern director, it would have turned out better. The Avatar movie.
That's another one.
If it had an Eastern director, as a live action that was originally created in the West, it would have done way better than it did. And it was poo, boy. It was so
they're already facing a challenge off the rip of making a live action anime movie. It's not easy. It's just hard.
I heard they want to do a Naruto one over here. I was like, please don't.
It's difficult. They're making a Bleach live action movie.
No, I mean in the West.
Oh,
I'm like, please don't botch Naruto. Y'all, if y'all don't watch it,
it's hard to do. The only live action anime movie that I've seen, or series of movies I've seen that I'm like, this is really good, are the Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, movies. I was like, them are the only ones I've seen that actually hold up, because they're so real world and
those are easier to translate into live action though.
Because there's not much extra superpowers in them.
Yeah, there's not any outlandish abilities and all this other stuff. So they already have a massive hurdles to get over before they even start. And with an Eastern director, it would help, but it still wouldn't be the whole package. Because what makes anime, nobody likes the Attack on Titan movie. If they do, they're lying. But also anime stories are just so massive.
Yeah.
that it's hard to pack it into one movie, and people always are going to have something to complain about. And like you can see, Dragon Ball Z is paving the road just for anime movies, not necessarily live action, just anime movies. First, they released Battle of the Gods in theaters, did super well. Then they released Resurrection F in theaters, did even better. And now they're releasing the Broly movie in theaters in January
that is going
in
to
the
be
West.
a blessing. That is going to be a blessing.
And
I'm watching it. I'm watching it in subs though. I'm not gonna do dubs. I'm gonna have to do it sub.
yeah, I'm gonna have to do it in subs too. But Akira Toriyama has full creative control
Yes,
over
he
these.
does. And he's stamping his rendition. See now, we just touched a whole nother subject of a movie and creativity versus as far as bringing something into the realms of it's no longer canon to canon. I still don't know how much of Broly will officially be canon, and if so, because we know the Broly and Bardock we've seen in the past are not Akira Toriyama's designs. So if this movie is supposed to be based around learning more of the Saiyans mythos, in a sense, I would want to see, as well as we got the Akira Toriyama version of Broly. Do you think he would possibly do his own version of Bardock and Gine? Well, we already know what Gine looks like, but his own version of what Bardock would be. Truly.
It would be. It's possible, but I love Bardock. Bardock's my favorite Dragon Ball character.
Well, I mean, we know he would look like Goku because that's who. Goku's
design
always
so
gonna look like his
much
dad.
That I probably wouldn't want Bardock's design changing. I like Broly's new design, because it seems more like how I would imagine Broly to look. But I don't know about Bardock. I'd have to see what his design is. Akira Toriyama never really disappoints me unless he forgets that Saiyans are supposed to have tails. But, I think that instead of trying to make all of these live action movies, especially since anime is making such a huge splash in the West right now, that they should stick to just making big production animated anime movies.
Yeah.
I think if they do, I'm gonna go see them regardless. I'm getting tickets. I may go see it twice. I think if they stick with that, then they can do really well. But I think they should just leave live action alone for now, at least for a while.
Gotcha.
Cause they can't get video games right. They can't get anime right.
No.
They need to leave.
Data Dave in here talking about Dub Nation. I'm gonna hit because we like I said
no.
we touched on it. I'm finna ask CK and KDJ sub
I
versus
was
Dub.
just about to.
Come on,
Sub
let
is for
the world
culture,
know.
man.
Let the world know, guys. Me and Nella Trey already told them last time on the podcast, but let the two new guests.
what was
let
your
the
guys'
world
answer?
know. Oh, bro. I watch Pokemon and
Sub
subs.
all day. Sub
Facts.
all day.
Big
Really?
facts. The biggest effects.
I watch everything with subtitles.
Yes.
I've developed the
Lord.
skill, bro. I have
God.
an S rank
I think-
skill in e-reading. Like I read at an angle so I can still catch everything on the screen.
Oh yeah, we've unlocked the Sharingan of
Exactly.
anime watching.
Yep. Same.
See, here's my problem. I agree that the VO is way better when you have to sub. But I have an issue. I am what I like to call a self-proclaimed professional multitasker, and to be a professional multitasker, I can't have sub. So I'm with Dad Dave on this one. Take Dub Nation up.
Well, that's why he watches dub too. He says he likes to watch anime while he's doing something else.
That's my thing. Yeah, I'm a professional multitasker.
So I would say it's a bit different for me because I lived in Japan for 3 years.
I
So
got you.
like when I'm walking around the house and me and my wife are watching anime, even if it's in Japanese subtitles, I'll be doing something in the kitchen or walking out of the hallway. I'm like, did they just say this, and this? She's like, yeah. I don't know Japanese, but I've like been out there enough to recognize enough words to get the gist of what they're saying.
And that goes beyond
So-
the realm of just like Nani and Gome.
Yeah, no,
like
you on a whole nother level, bro.
Yeah, so I'm able to sit around and still pretty much get what's going on in the show, even if it's in sub. And that's why I'm a
Gotcha.
bit of a different case, but at the same time, I'm a purist too.
Yeah.
So I want to like if you turn on the subtitles, if you watch it in dub, turn on the subtitles and see what happens.
Yo, stop! Oh, I'm about to hit this cat
if
with
you-
something.
If
I'm
you
sorry.
watch that, it's completely like the subtitles are almost completely different than what they're saying in English, because a lot of the jokes and a lot of the dialogue doesn't transfer well
Mhm.
to the English language. so
Yeah,
you have to rewrite
I
some
get
stuff.
that. Right.
And so I want to see everything. I want the full experience. So
Yeah.
I'll try to watch stuff in sub, but sometimes like my wife, I don't feel like reading, I don't feel like wearing my glasses. So we have to watch stuff dubbed. I'm not against dub. Like if somebody says they prefer dub, I'm like, oh, you're awful. No, it's fine. It took me a year to get used to watching Dragon Ball Super subbed because I can't stand Goku's voice.
Oh yeah,
I get used to it. See, for me, my wife can only take hearing, the high pitched voices for so long, so I have to watch it with my headphones on. But I will say,
hard.
I can't.
Yeah, no, I'm good on that, bro.
Like,
yeah, but it's not too bad. I will say there have been in my past before it became as heavily in the subs as I am now. There were a few that I loved the voice acting on. DBZ because I grew up with it, of course. Bleach was really good. Cryed was I love the voice actors in that one.
Yep.
There was also Detective Conan because I saw it in chat. I love Conan's voice actor in America. Which
I do too.
Anybody who hasn't watched Case Closed, I advise you please. Man, it's the most shonen, almost seinen psychological that throws me off every time because I never know what's happening. I love it. I still read the mangas and they're like 1,200 chapters in, and I'm only on 300. Also, other than Detective Conan, there was another one, Kikaider. Kikaider was one that they used to come on Adult Swim that I loved also, and the voice acting was just amazing. And Cyborg 009 and a few other ones. So it just depends, but most of the ones that I watch now that I really love, that end up getting a dubbed version, I never like the voice actors unless it's like somebody like Yuri Lowenthal who does Sasuke, or like my cousin Aaron who does certain voice acting in animes and games and stuff. Like I like their voice acting because I grew up hearing them in games and shows I watched already, but it's some other people, like it's just the emotion behind it. Like what it's can somebody tell me what did Mars say last time when I said I'm starting to get emotional at animes now and mangas when I read and watch? Huh? Oh, sorry. Mars said something last time. If Mars, you still in here, I was saying like I'm starting to catch myself, unless it's me getting older as a man or like my hormone levels are dropped or something. I catch myself getting misty eyed at stuff way more than I used to at anime and manga. He said something along the lines like I can't think of what it was, but it was kind of clever. Something with like my hormone levels dipping for a second, like my hormone levels dipped, or something like that. But it's just. That's why I like sub more, because when I look at something, that's what gets me choked up. When I hear that hurt in their voice, when I hear that pain, I'm just like, man, I feel like somebody just hit my mama in the face and I'm about to go balls, just go run at you. Like, like Gohan going Super Saiyan 2 for the first time was the only time in my life that I knew of me crying at a cartoon. Ever.
Nah, Goku going Super Saiyan 3.
Well, it wasn't.
Sure.
It wasn't.
No. KDJ, let me line this up for you. So you got a young Gohan standing in front of Cell as everyone's getting tortured by Cell Juniors, and then here comes 16. He tries to come in and blow him up. Boom, nothing. All that's left is a head. You see 16, it's like, Gohan, it's okay. Let it go. Just let it go. And then he was like, that's enough of that, and just stepped on his head. He was like, 16.
That's because Cell was a savage, man.
I know, but just the way he was like, I feel it. Bro, he was like, when he said, I feel it slipping, I was like, my eyes are starting to well up, and I can't take it anymore. I was like, no. I just started crying. I couldn't help it.
See, it wasn't that moment when I cried. The moment in that same series that made me cry in the Cell Saga was when he was doing the Kamehameha and everybody started to help him. Yeah. And they were giving their little speeches about like how cool Gohan was, how good of a son Goku had. Yeah. That was the moment that got me. Anything with Piccolo talking about Gohan gets me almost
because that's his father. That's his real father.
That's Piccolo's child right there.
Nah, bro, forget that, man. I cried in the Buu saga when Vegeta.
Why?
What?
When Vegeta
did
himself?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say.
Yes.
No, my bad. I thought you was gonna say when Vegeta did something like.
That's why Majin Vegeta is my favorite character, like in all of Dragon Ball, yo.
Gotcha. I was gonna
because
say
the whole time he was in control, dog. He just pretended like he wasn't because he wanted to fight Goku.
Yeah, he just. But you know what, Goku, and this is why I still have that argument with Goku and Vegeta, because my man still had Super Saiyan 3 in the pocket and really wasn't giving Vegeta his all. I was like, bro, Vegeta, and that's why I still look at Vegeta as so underrated. And I'm hoping in this movie he gets his just due, because Vegeta, he never has anything in the pocket. What he got is what he got, but that man always finds a way to come out on top with no plot armor.
Yeah, the difference
with
between
no
Goku
plot
and Vegeta,
armor.
Nobody trains Vegeta.
He trains. He trains himself.
Nobody trained Vegeta until Whis.
Yep.
Nobody.
But
Goku at all time.
bro, he didn't. They never explained him going Super Saiyan Blue. But like the whole point was, he found a way to learn how to channel God Ki on his own without being given the additional ki of 7 other Saiyans.
They explained it. They explained it in the Dragon Ball Super manga.
Yeah, but he still didn't have to have everybody crowd around him and give him the form in order to achieve it. He learned how to sense it and feel it on his own.
That's because Super Saiyan Blue and Super Saiyan God are a bit different.
Well, we can have that whole conversation too, because I've still been on that. Like, I don't understand how it's one thing versus another. Like, KDJ, remember when I was telling you how I feel Super Saiyan 4 is a new mutation of an Uzaru transformation and not a real Super Saiyan form if it was to be canon? That's how I feel about Super Saiyan God versus Super Saiyan Blue, because Toriyama said Red, like in his weird conversation, he was like, Red is stronger than Blue, but now Red is the more pure God form, and Blue is like, if I learned, like when I was saying, how in the hell is it that Krillin can naturally punch and do some kind of damage, or because he's usually getting thumped and flicked away by anybody, but he's keeping up, or at least trying to outwit and landing blows on a God level Super Saiyan. So I was like, Super Saiyan Blue to me doesn't feel like it's an ascended God form. I just feel like, oh, I went Super Saiyan but channeled God Ki into it, which caused this mutation of me going blue. Now if it was a true Super Saiyan transformation of God form, I feel like it would have still remained base red, because none of the forms change out until anything with a base form won't undergo either color change or any form of variant until it's a mutation and not a pure form of itself. That was my whole thing with it.
That's why I can't really rock with Super, man. Just because power scaling is just all.
It's been thrown out the window.
And like but they do it a lot better in the manga. That's why I like the manga, because Akira Toriyama had nothing to do with Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
Like, he writes the manga, and the manga's way different than the anime, and they explain it a lot more efficiently. Like, the Super Saiyan God with the red hair and red eyes, because Vegeta is able to achieve that in the manga as well.
Yep. He's actually mastered it more so than Goku has. So
the difference is, one of the major differences is, when they went to train on Vidus' planet with Whis' training was allowing them to develop God Ki, because he trains gods.
Yep.
And also with Super Saiyan Blue, which was originally called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. The name was a mouthful, but it was called Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan because it was originally Super Saiyan God, the red hair, going Super Saiyan. That's what it was. It was just
exactly. But I still feel like that can't be true, because you wouldn't go, if it was to be, it still would have been red then, because it still would have been red. I feel like it still would have been red.
So the major difference there is, like, the red ki, Goku and Vegeta's bodies got used to the ki once they took it in, and that's how they were able to achieve the red one. The blue one is supposed to be like a calm. That's why it's blue. Their energy isn't so much based off rage like it was when they went normal Super Saiyan. It's based off reaching a certain state of Zen.
Yep.
And then you achieve blue. That's how blue came about. So it is, I consider it a separate transformation from the red one. And then when they introduce Ultra Instinct is just
makes no sense.
Going off his base form.
Man, that's just.
But when he did achieve like complete Ultra Instinct, when he mastered it, that's when they finally did call him a god.
Or he attained a level of a god for only a brief moment with like weird drawbacks.
I think that was him achieving God Ki. And one of the things I can respect about Akira Toriyama is that he does look back at his old source material, because I think Kaioken set Goku up for this, and this is why Vegeta's having such a hard time, because Goku has been destroying his body with Kaioken since the beginning. Yeah. And that's essentially what Ultra Instinct is doing. It's hard on his body. But since he already forces it on himself with Kaioken, his body was able to handle a short burst of Ultra Instinct. But yeah, I think I don't think they're gonna take like Vegeta did something in the anime that I doubt will be in the manga.
That Beyond Super Saiyan, like the Super
Yeah,
Vegeta version
like,
of Blue.
Yeah, like Super Vegeta version of Blue, which I don't think they're gonna do in the manga because they focus more on them. Just they still haven't mastered Blue in the manga.
No, Vegeta has mastered Blue. Goku hasn't.
Yeah,
That's why he still needs to, in order to get to maximize the most potential out of it, still have to combine it with Kaioken. Vegeta's already on par with the Kaioken form, even though he doesn't have. I wonder what Vegeta would be like if he could use Kaioken. Like, just reflect on that for a second. What would Vegeta be like if that man could actually use Kaioken?
A god.
yeah, ridiculous.
Because he wouldn't stop at 20. He'd be like, Kaioken times 50. He'd be like, fuck it, Kakarot. I'm going above and beyond.
Vegeta
But
would be a
Akira
whole
Toriyama
god,
doesn't
man.
like Vegeta, so if he did learn it, his body would probably just explode.
I love Vegeta, man. His redemption story and everything is like excellent.
He's
His
got
whole
the best
storyline.
music, too, bro.
I don't like
Yes.
how they doing my boy Gohan. Like I thought he was gonna get something new in Super.
Nope. He did
I see
all
how they
that
do it.
training.
They give it all the trunks.
He did all that training. Like, I want to achieve a form that's never been achieved before. I'm like, bro, you just went, was it, what's the form called? You just met Mystic Gohan again, bro. You didn't go above and beyond.
that was
you
it.
just attained
That was
Mystic
it.
again.
I was mad, man. I was real mad.
CK, you chime in, bro. Yeah, I know you've been away for a minute. How you feeling about that? We just jumped into the random scaling of DBZ Super.
No, I was here the entire time. It's just a night because she needs to eat. I was actually looking to make my exit. Sadly,
Oh,
I gotta
man, we
go.
gotta go see TV.
but I will say this. Here's my 2 cents. Vegeta was done wrong in every single movie.
Yeah,
Every
Vegeta comes
single-
out, talks a lot of shit, and then gets mollywopped
Gets destroyed.
right after.
Yeah.
Right after.
Utter disrespect. So I'm just glad that I heard all you guys defending him because I 100% agree with y'all. That man's God tier. I don't care what anyone says.
Yep.
But yeah, I sadly gotta go though. The little one's hungry.
Now, when you say you gotta go, you are more than welcome to come back and stay. You can mute up
For sure.
because it's gonna be.
Okay.
You can still just chilling. Just mute up until you can come back. Like, I'm still gonna be running this for a while, unless
sure.
like you legit gotta leave.
Because I
out,
might.
leave
That's the
house.
thing. I might definitely be in the chat for sure.
yeah.
For sure. Because I'll probably be back. I don't want not to just be like.
All right, then, just mute up then. Just mute up and feed La Mama and do your thing. We'll still be here kicking it because we haven't even touched on one of the other 2 last topics because we done branched out, and that's one of the great things I love about this, man, because we can get into so many discussions. Even though I have these pivotal points of discussion, it can go anywhere and everywhere. But I'd also like to take a moment and ask chat, do y'all have anything y'all like?
I don't understand.
Oh my god, Google.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Alexa.
Oh my god, I didn't ask her anything, but anybody in chat, man, y'all got anything y'all want to ask, or any subject y'all may want to touch on or talk about? This is the time. I'm just gonna let this be the little chat portion, because we've already reached like an hour and a half, and that's why I wanted to either take a break or let the folks in here ask anything they want to get out. Data Dave, Ty, Ty, you gotta head out, man. Thank you for coming through, fam. I'm glad you came through, bro.
Yeah, enjoy your party.
Yeah, man. So yeah, y'all at me at Nellatrey at not CK but at KDJ, because CK stepped away for a little bit. He got to feed the baby and everything.
Yeah,
But yeah.
burb.
So yeah, either that or we'll just take a quick little break. Y'all want to get something to drink, and because I got got a little background music playing anyway. We can just mute up for a sec. Get some.
Oh, okay. Get some food.
Yeah, y'all take a little break, grab something to eat, drink. Yeah. All right, y'all. I'm just gonna let this music ride out for a bit. We're just gonna take a little small break. I'm gonna use the restroom. Hope y'all stay in here and kick it with us.
I'm gonna talk to Tech because we in the same game right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna just hop back in. Just shoot me a message whenever we start back up.
All right. Just I'll let y'all know.
All right. All right.
All right, I am back. KDJ, Nella Trey, you still there, fam? Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna just be muted while I'm smacking on something.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. So we got a question in chat. Let me turn the music down a little bit. I forgot I kicked it up some. Dead Hero asked, any shoujo anime you all into?
What is shoujo? I ain't gonna hold you up.
I'm actually gonna look it up. I have to look it up myself.
Cause I probably watched some. I just don't know.
I'm assuming my whole show. I like
It's
Magic
anything
Girl.
for young females.
I think it's like Magic Girl.
Its focus is personal and romantic relationships.
Yeah, there we go. Well, Magic Girl can kind of be under that. Let's see. I personally don't have one now that I can think of. Off the top of my head, any that I've ever watched though. Nah, I can't think of a single one.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you up. Me neither, man.
He said I always shipped Monica and Light Yagami. Hey, Ryo Susuke Hero.
I respect that.
Light Yagami is a god, bro. Can't never sleep on Light.
Big facts.
No, man, I can't think of any. Can I chat? I'm gonna ask y'all. Have y'all watched any Maho or type magical type of anime or anything like that y'all like watching previously or in the past? Same for y'all, KDJ. Like it had magic in it. Now this doesn't count as superpowers, but I mean like literally using elemental type spells and witchcraft and stuff.
Madoka Magica.
Oh, he put out a heavy hitter.
My roommate showed it to me. He's like, man, what are we watching? I'm not trying to watch this. And then it went from 0 to 100 real quick. And I was like, oh, this anime is kind of dark. So yeah, with I guess Madoka Magica, but I liked it a lot. Ryusuke followed you.
Yeah, I was supposed to say thank you for the follow. Thank you, Hero. Appreciate the follow, fam. For me, and there's so many Maho Shouju like types that I can't actually think of which one. I was watching one that's pretty on the dark side last season called Maho Shouju Sight, like Magic Girl Sight, and I mean it is dark. And Frieza's Japanese voice actor is in this show. But I like anyone who knows me. I like a lot of shows that have magic in them. So I'm always a big nerd for any isekai types. Also, get trapped in another world type of animes or mangas. But I asked that as just an interjection to the next point. So guys in chat, Trey, KDJ, and I mean in the on the panel, as well as people in the chat. How do you feel about the sudden uprise, or in recent years, of isekai tropes? And for those of you who don't know, isekai anime is the reference to a situation in which a character finds themselves transported to an alternative dimension, universe, or world.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on how they do it. Because some, like ReZero, for example, one of my favorite anime, like, in recent years, right? How they did it. It wasn't like he was in a game and then got transported to that world or stuck in that world, because that's a big thing that's going on right now. And I can't say I hate them, because I like a lot of them, like Overlord.
Bro, there are so many of them. I mean, a bunch. Because like when they first got introduced to us, what did we have? All we had was Dot Hack. Dot Hack even wasn't a full isekai. Had isekai-esque, tendencies because they were trapped, but they weren't fully. I just got sucked from my own world into a whole new world. But yeah, continue on.
But no, I was just gonna say, it just depends on how they do it. You know what I mean? Because the market, like you said, is oversaturated with those type of animes. So if they do it right, like like how Overlord or how Not to Summon the Demon Lord is doing. Like it's doing it different from just, hey, we're trapped. Oh no, I have to save my friends. Like, okay, like that's boring, oversaturated, but they do it right. Like ReZero, a
I
switch up
mean,
on it.
aside from ReZero, did you ever watch Grimgar No Ash?
Nah, I had that on my list though.
It is one
You
of
should
the
watch
best.
Konosuba too.
Konosuba, I mean, but no, like when I like he's saying like how serious on
No,
the serious
I
side
was
of
watching Konosuba.
I was talking about the like on the serious note of just ReZero. Grimgar and Ash is, you know, it's if real world life were MMO influenced, or, you know, RPG skill class influenced in real life. Like, you've really that's one that'll really make you fall in love with the characters too. Like, you get invested in seeing them do well until stuff happens, because it's not like you get a redo in some of these, or you get like a, well, I mean, not all of them they actually get a redo, but like, you don't, they're not troped off as like plot armor impenetrable. These people all have an expiration, and just the expiration happens to be when it happens. Like, if you were playing any other real game in real life, and you aren't leveled up enough, you didn't grind up enough to get your skills up, you'll get your fade ran and it's game over.
Facts.
But see, I have a few here on the list that if you haven't already checked out, I'll name the ones that are currently a anime that has finished its season, as well as a good read I recommend. So Knights in Magic, it's a good one, came out like 2 seasons ago. A guy was rebirthed into a world as a young prince, and he was a model builder. He built, you know, in his world in Japan, he was one of the guys who was obsessed with building model like Gundams and stuff. So he got brought into a world where they had magic and also these big robotic machines that were like real live Gundams, but they weren't. And the fact that he was really smart and intelligent, he found a way to advance the type of building and output of these, you know, robotic machines in such a way that no one had ever thought of. Like, the last time it had been done was several 100 years ago, and that it was maybe speculated somebody else had been reborn into that world, you know, and just died off, and he'd be the next one. So like, he brought about a change that hadn't happened in so long. But prior to that, they had already just made a slight advancement in, you know, their understanding of it to a new model, which it takes long to make new models. He was cranking them boys out like every couple of months, like, you know. And then you got Kenji no Majo is another comedy action fantasy like Konosuba. Suga Michibi Isekai Dochu, which is also a romance fantasy comedy, pretty good. This one right here though, drama, fantasy, and action. Sekai Sekyo, it's really tough. I just started reading it. Like, it's got the darkest tone to any isekai I've ever actually had a chance to read, even darker than Grimgar and Ash. Like, they don't play. And then, of course, what you just said, the darkness of Another Worlds, How to Summon a Demon Lord, you know, called the Demon King of Another World. That one's right in the list too.
But those are more lighthearted. You know
Yeah. Then you got Death March, which was one that came out last season. You got Overlord,
Gate.
Yep, Gate, Konosuba, ReZero being the number 2 on the list, and then you also have
ReZero is really number 2.
Yeah, and then Rise of the Hero of the Shield. It's, when I tell you, Tate no Yusha is so good, because this man, it's almost like there's 3 I can name like this. So Konosuba, Rise of the Hero of the Shield, Tate no Yusha, and it's another one I was reading at school too with this guy. I have to find it because I can't find it. I have I read these at work, guys. So I'm usually in my intermittent breaks at work. I find all these manga that are in this one particular category of shonen or seinen, drama, fantasy, really on the fantasy category. These 3 stem from I Got Called to Another World. Now the last 2, not Tate no Yusha, they all got pulled into a world where they got cast from the people who summoned them and had to find a way to be great. Now, Rise of the Hero of the Shield, this guy goes through so much hardship. I read the light novels on most of these too, so a lot of these that I fall in love with when I read the manga, I instantly go find the light novel and gotta go at it. Oh, and Re-Monster. Re-Monster's another good one, just like Tate no Yusha. You see them in these worlds. They have the plot armor to be great, but they don't start off great by any means. So you definitely watch them grow, gain companions, and like usurp the whole status quo. Because everybody was like, oh, pooing on these people, bro. Like in all facets. No likes whatsoever. You're not gonna find anybody from even the children were throwing rocks at these people. But you find that you watch them grow and gain companions and slowly turn the tide. Now, Rise of the Hero of the Shield, I finished the entire light novel and I loved it. The manga is currently in a good spot. They're catching, like, it's actually progressing very fast. Remonster is exactly the same way. Remonster, though, is different. It's just a guy got teleported to a different world and reborn as a goblin and ends up becoming like some kind of weird god. Not as a goblin though. He like creatures can evolve, and he's almost like a Pokemon in a sense. Like he can evolve. Like once you're at a certain level, they class up. And my man at the end kind of becomes his. I'm still not finished with it. He's where I'm at. He's almost close to being some kind of god deity type ogre variant creature with 4 arms. And I'm like, bro, it's getting wild because he also gains all these stupid abilities from stuff that he eats. Because in his previous world, he gained characteristics and traits or powers from certain things that he ate, and they stuck with him. And the same thing applies in this world. He was reborn with the same ability. In the RPG, that's kind of a deadly skill, bro. I mean, it's not that he's limited to what he can eat. As long as he can eat it, or it has some kind of edible consistency, or he can bite into it and chew it, he'll gain something from it. Even if he swallowed a piece of metal, if he can actually digest it, he'll gain something from it. So yeah, how do y'all feel about the the isekai trope uprise? I know KDJ, you said how you felt on it. Trey, what about you?
So I think it's for 2 reasons. One, I think Sword Art Online blew the door wide open.
Yeah.
Big facts.
2, the more elaborate one. I think at the current state that the world is in, a lot of people don't want to be here.
That is also a good.
So they may fantasize about stuff like that, and so anytime there's a certain wave of a certain genre, it's usually due to the state of the world at the time. So I think that a lot of people wish they were transported to a different world. They fantasize, they daydream, imagine a lot, and that resonates with them at this point. So seeing something like that, it's like a comfort thing. It's a comfort watch. But like KDJ said, like not necessarily getting trapped in a game. I'm getting kind of sick of those. Like everybody just wouldn't shut up about Sword Art Online while I was sitting over here watching Log Horizon.
I love Log Horizon.
And,
they dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, love Log Horizon. But then I watched like where's it at? Like Dead Hero said, like No Game No Life. Loved No Game No Life.
Yeah. I wish they had finished it, man.
Yeah, I do too.
Don Machi's also a good one too. Even though
I had to slide into those light novels.
It's not even though it's not isekai trope, like How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon, Don Machi's a good one, boy.
But my favorite is still ReZero. That's my number one when it comes to isekais getting trapped in another world. Just because ReZero blew my mind on multiple occasions.
Yes.
So I can't get behind anything else. But right behind it for me is Konosuba. It's not nearly as serious as ReZero. Just because it's hilarious, and I don't like when somebody gets transported to another world necessarily, and is already overpowered. I'm kind of contradicting myself because I do like Overlord.
I just like it for the political aspect of it.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I like. That's pretty much why I like Overlord. I want to see like what the actual state of the world is in Overlord, not necessarily. But with like ReZero, it's super serious. He gets trapped in another world, and this dude, like I was watching it with my roommate, and I'm like, yo, this dude's he's gonna break. He's gonna lose his mind. And he was like, you think so? I was like, yeah. I was like, what kind of mental state do you think you would be in if every time you died, you had to feel the pain of dying and know you died and then just come back to a checkpoint?
Especially at the Beetlejuice part, man.
I'm just gonna be real with y'all.
Oh my god, I'm
not gonna even hold y'all up. I've only watched the first 3 episodes of ReZero.
What?
Yeah, bro.
You said you watched what?
I've only watched the first 3 episodes of ReZero. I'm not gonna even hold y'all.
Oh,
You tripping? Once it gets to episode 15, the whole thing just crank up
The
to
whole
like
thing
30.
Yep. I'm gonna forever be a fan of what's his name? Is it Earhart?
When?
What's the old cat's name? The old swordsman with the white whale.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I think I can't remember his name,
Yeah, I can't either.
but that dude right there.
Yeah, man.
But
That
yeah,
dude's so serious.
at first I was watching it, Tez, and I was like, all right, he's your typical get trapped in another world. He's probably gonna develop some type of ability or some type of power. And then it does not go in that direction at all.
I mean, I know it's
Big
psychological
facts.
because even like when I saw him get killed, I'm like, hold on, did he just die? What?
You need to meet Beatrice de Conti.
Yeah, man.
This
Yes.
is crazy.
That boy there, man.
Beatrice.
I'll have to watch it today then.
Yeah, you gotta give it
Bro.
a second try.
Because after that, like that episode, then the next one when like oh man, I can't even talk about it now.
Yeah, it gets so crazy, and that's why I said it blew my mind.
Yeah. When the little cat dude turn up on him on that next
Oh
episode.
yeah, with the ice, I was like, oh what's happening?
That stuff.
And then Konosuba, I watch it when I want to laugh. He's also not overpowered by any means.
At all.
Not overpowered at all.
Except for
his
Megumi.
steal ability. Yeah, his steal ability is a little overpowered. Darkness is my favorite girl from that end.
Bro, darkness is
And,
Big
bad.
facts.
I don't care
Big
what nobody
facts.
say. Darkness is bad.
But I liked the idea of everything. Like they managed to get that RPG feel while also not taking itself too seriously. Like that headless horseman cat, the Dullahan. That dude cracked me up every time he was on the screen. When he first showed up and he was like, yo, they're like, why is he here? He's never bothered us. Is he living that? He's like, I just moved into this castle up here.
They kept doing explosion on my man
Somebody
castle.
blowing up my castle.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Keep coming over here blowing up my castle, man.
Yeah, I was like, they kind of deserve this.
That was pure comedy, dog.
And something like that, like those, I'm using two extremes. Just because at first I thought I would only like the serious ones who get trapped in another world. But then I watched Konosuba and I was like, okay, I like this. But something that is super, super tropey or super predictable or plot armorish, aka Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
I'd lose interest super fast. Like if you're gonna get trapped in another world, actually introduce me to another world and make me feel like that character he may not make it to the next episode. If you're gonna be serious.
You're right.
And if you're gonna be comedic, then yeah, Konosuba is definitely the way to go. I don't know anybody. I think I met one person that said Aqua was their favorite girl in that anime. Nobody.
Aqua has her moments. Sometimes
Aqua's
she's funny.
annoying, yo. She's funny. I'm laughing at her, not normally with her. Aqua is sad.
I said
but
she
think-
has her moments.
But Megumin is usually the most popular. But yeah, that's. I think that's why. I think it's just because people want to fantasize, and since they can relate to something like that, they're like, okay, I'll definitely watch this. Something that I wouldn't call it an isekai. They get trapped somewhere else, but I don't know if it's another world. I think it's just on Earth. Yeah, they do get trapped somewhere on Earth. Is Gantz.
I've
People that were
I've
supposed
never
to
read
die.
Gantz.
Yeah, people were supposed to die and ended up in this like area where they have to fight aliens and all this type of stuff. The show is weird. Like I don't recommend it. I just watched it a long time ago because I was watching any anime I could get my hands on.
Facts.
It's super weird and out there, and just the pacing is all over the place for the story. But it was one of those where I was like, this is kind of weird. I think I'm gonna just stick to aliens and Frieza and Goku and all of this type of stuff.
Hey, can I take a moment and also shout out like how big somebody just made a move that I saw. That dude Supreme Dream from RDC World, that boy got put in. They put him in 2K19 along with Haha Davis. You know, just
Yeah,
other
him and
folks.
Yeah, they
Haha
put a
Davis
couple
both
people
in there.
in
I
there.
was just like, hey, that's big.
Oh yeah, they featured a lot of Supreme Dreams videos on ESPN
Mm-hmm.
when he was doing LeBron in the locker room. Give me your ring.
Them dudes is a mess, but yeah, man. Oh, and I found the one that I was talking about earlier with my man. It's called Shigan no Yusha. He gets trapped into it, like, so he's a neat type guy who gets brought into the world by a goddess who likes heroes. Like, she gets people who has really good abilities, but he's a really nice guy. She only wants like devilish, oh, I'm gonna, out for me type of things. You know, making love to him or submitting to her will, but pretty much being all around dick to people. And he's not like that, even though he's a neat. And my man usually watches this log show every Sunday. He watches this log show, and my man's favorite weapon in the game ends up becoming a 2x4, like a big old log. He's called the log hero or some job like that. But it's funny because every 1,000 years, one of these type of people is born. Like there's a new master of like wood to like fight with, and they're really strong and durable weapons. But yeah, I was reading it at work, and it just gave me some good laughs. Like I would love to see if it got animated. But biggest thing for me with these type of manga is when they do become animated, the studios always do something completely different. Like they never truly stick to the code or follow the golden rule of thumb that's happening in the show. So I always have a gripe sometimes with that type of thing, but that's just me.
Yeah, no, for sure.
That's just your boy, man. That's just me. Whoa. Where's my questions? Back to my questions. Another trade. You got anything you want to lay on the table? Because I know you usually do be having some questions racked up in the background.
Sure. Why not?
KDJ, you too. If you got anything, let it be known. We'll discuss it. We'll talk about it.
No, not that I can think of, man.
Let's see here. Let's use. Would you watch an anime where the main character died for good at some point in the anime, and it changed main characters?
It depends on how attached I am to that main character.
Let's use let's see. Let's use Naruto as an example.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a Naruto now.
Why?
That was fast.
I mean,
Okay.
extremely fast.
Okay. Let's make this more difficult for him. Let's say One Piece. Let's say Luffy got killed halfway through the series, and they focus on a different character. Would you watch it with the same passion that you would have if Luffy was the main character? I'd probably have to let it go, man. So I'm basing this question just off a complaint I hear. They're just like, oh, main character's not gonna die, blah blah blah. I'm like, well, what would you do if he did?
Yeah.
Show's
I don't
over.
know. I don't know how I would feel, bro. that's really tough for me.
Like, that's why I was like, why are you complaining when the show would just be over? Like, the only anime I watched where I thought the main character was dead was Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah.
When he got stabbed in the heart and dude was just out, and they kept making it a big deal that he was actually dead. I was like, yo, is he gone? Like, is this the end of the show? But then, like, in a preview, he was like, of course I'm coming back. It's my story. I was like, oh, okay. Well, there we go. That's that. But yeah, I hear people complain about a lot of stuff, but they complain about that not enough characters are dying or there are no real stakes, but at the same time, you'll get mad if your favorite character died.
I mean,
True.
bro, I just don't know how I feel about that. Like, I can't see me, watching somebody I care about like that, especially the show that I'm really attached to.
Do you know how mad I was when they killed off Neji?
But he wasn't the main character, though.
No, but they had plenty of other disposable commodities. Like, Tintin could have died 20 seasons ago.
I would have been fine with Tintin. I would have been fine with Ino. I would have been fine with It's a lot of folks, surprisingly, in Naruto I'd have been okay with passing away. Neji
Honestly,
was
they
one I
could have
didn't
killed
like.
off Choji, and I wouldn't have been that upset.
Nah, don't do that. Choji's a god.
They could have killed off Choji. I wouldn't have been that
Nah,
upset.
Choji. See, now we
Big
bumping
facts.
heads.
Neji has been one of my favorites since the Chunin exam.
Bro, how do you not like the Chakra Butterfly, the Akamichi, and the
No, I didn't
expansion
say I
jutsu?
didn't like Choji. I just said I wouldn't be too bent if he died.
I would have been bent.
Like you have Choji. Let me see who else. No, if they killed off Rock Lee, I would have rioted. Let me see here. If they took out Shino, I wouldn't have been too upset. I like Shino, but wouldn't have been too upset. Shino's like a shadow. Like all those characters, but when they killed off Neji, I'm like, could have killed in this war. Y'all even brought Gaara back to life, but y'all got to kill off Neji. So I was upset about that. Like I almost stopped reading it when I saw that.
Just because, oh man.
Yeah, I also was mad when Naruto and Sasuke fought. That like I thought one of them should have died. To be honest, that age-old conflict, I felt like one couldn't exist with the other. I thought they couldn't coexist. So when they both just lost an arm or what have you, I was a little upset about that too.
I'm still glad that they didn't give. I think the right move for not giving Sasuke an arm was legit, because you already know what happens when you give an Uchiha Hashirama cells. That man would have had a whole real Rinnegan and his already Renin Sharingan. He would have been too OP. He knew it himself. That's why he's like, no, don't give me that. Because if you give me this, I will more than likely probably try and come at you again and destroy everybody. Exactly. He said it's like, if you give me this arm, there's no telling if I will turn against you again, because at that point I'd be all powerful with two. I'm like, nah. He made the right move. Sasuke's a young goat though. There were a lot of times I wanted him to die. I was like, I want Itachi to come back to life and let Sasuke just die.
You wanted Itachi to die?
No, I wanted Sasuke to die and Itachi come back to life. Like, just find a way to reverse Reaper Death Seal somebody and let some people come back that need to be back.
Hey, Orochimaru did it on his own. You can't kill that dude.
Man, you still can't kill, bro. He's been a woman and a male. He don't even care no more. Orochimaru been riding. He done stuff in both spectrums. He nasty like that. He a wild. As KDJ say, he a
Bleach
wild
is the
boy.
same way. There's some people in Bleach that could have died. Like,
Bleach had tons of expendable characters.
yeah, they did.
But
I
we
mean,
gotta
in the
get out.
manga, the extension, they killed off quite a few.
Yeah. True. We got one more question in the chat. So, Dead Hero asks, okay, so is there a manga you would like to see as an anime, but I know for sure won't get like Battle Royale? Oh, for sure won't get made like Battle Royale. Dead Hero, I get the first half of it. What's the second half? But I know for sure won't get made like Battle Royale. I'm lost. I'm a bit lost.
Me too.
But for the first portion, one of the mangas I want to see, it's getting made. It's gonna be next. It's coming out next season, and I'm hype. Goblin Slayer. Every time I'm talking about Goblin Slayer, bro, I want people to invest in this just to see it, to watch it, to look at it, read it. If I even get a chance, I'll pull it up on stream and let y'all watch the trailer for that jive. Like, it's that godly. I cannot wait for it to get made, but I hope they do it right.
Manga you would like to see is an anime.
Yeah.
That's one that was an anime, but they ended it too early. I need Kenichi to come back. I need History Strongest Disciple.
Bro,
Come back.
everybody wants
because
Kenichi.
They stopped the series right when the manga got good, and I was upset about that.
Oh, like it won't make it as an anime or too graphic as an anime.
Won't make it as an anime. It's a tough question.
It wouldn't make it as it wouldn't be good enough to continue. Is this what he's saying, Trey?
Yeah, I think he's saying like it wouldn't really make it. It would come out as an anime and you'd like it, but wouldn't it?
Well, see, I know Goblin Slayer probably gonna have a big change. It'd probably be one of these isekais that I watch. Like, a bunch of these trapped in another world, not everybody gonna like them. Because I know a lot of folks didn't like Trapped in Another World with My Cell Phone. Like that one got a lot of poos and boos.
As it should.
But
Well,
it's
I'd
gone.
say it already happened for me, Dead Hero. Terraformers.
Man, that was butt cheeks. I kept trying to make it. I was trying to give myself a chance to watch it, but that show was just butt cheeks.
I found out about Terraformers in Japan. So I
You
saw
should've kept
it
it in
way
Japan.
earlier than like most people did. And I was like, man, this looks fire. And then they released the anime, and problem number one, it was censored, which I had a problem with, because it was graphic, but it was censored. And then the story just kind of seemed to drag and drag and drag, and just we weren't getting to the bottom of it. Like I liked the concept so much, but it just seemed like you weren't getting to the bottom of things. And animation was really good too, but it didn't make it. But I like the concept was so cool, just integrating animal DNA with people's DNA. You had so many different powers and abilities and applications. Like that blue-ringed octopus cat, that dude seemed unstoppable for a minute.
That almost sounds like Killing Bites. Did you see Killing Bites? Killing Bites is pretty much like Bloody Roar, the anime.
Oh no, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, that's exactly what that's like. Bloody Roar, the anime. That's what Killing Bites is like.
The main character was just like a silkworm or something like that. You had people that were hornets and bullet ants, and then the main character, I'm a silkworm. One dude was like the bullet shrimp. I thought that was cool.
No, in this case, this girl was like, they're all like, only certain people can be crossed with animal DNA, and she happened to be crossed with like what is it, a honey badger?
So she didn't care no more?
I want to make sure I got that right. It's no. It's a type. She was crossed with a not a dang honey badger. What? Let me look it up real quick because I want to make sure I get it right. Killing.
Hey, my dad says, man, I gotta get up out of here, wifey over here. You know what I'm saying? Complaining and stuff. So.
It's all good. It's all good. I'm just gonna say Killing Bites, but before you go, because I'm probably gonna end it real quick. KDJ, answer this one last question. If you had to be trapped on an island and you could only read and watch 5 different manga and anime completed series, what would they be?
5 completed series. Of course, ReZero is one of them. Probably Trigun because I love that. Afro Samurai. Excellent anime. Let me see. Completed series. Noragami. Both seasons. And then probably I don't know, man. When my hero finishes, I had to throw that in there just because of the tear jerking moments and the combat is excellent. So
okay, and there you have it.
hey, man.
All right, man.
All right, y'all.
Appreciate you for coming through, bro.
Hey, anytime, my guy. Anytime.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Peace. Oop, sorry, that's my seat. My seat making that noise there, folks. So, what about you, Trey?
Anime, I would Hunter x Hunter, Dragon Ball Z, Fooly Cooly, and Yu Yu Hakusho. Manga, I'd have to go with History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi, Shokugeki no Soma, Hajime no Ippo, Attack on Titan. I like the manga. The anime just takes too long to catch up.
Yeah, facts.
And that 5th choice. Light novels don't count, do they?
Yeah, they count.
Spice and Wolf.
All right, there we go. And this for me, it have to be in the anime portion, Katekyo Hitman Reborn. It'd be Detective Conan. Because I gotta have something interesting.
You have
in there.
plenty of material.
Exactly.
It's long. It's long
Exactly.
running.
That's exactly. I'd probably also throw in Inuyasha because I like Inuyasha, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And you gonna give me the yuck.
Yeah.
Inuyasha. What else? What else is there? I had it in my head. The original Transformer series. Even though it's not really anime, but I still like it. And then just to give me something bubbly, it'd probably be a slice of life like Tiger and Dragon.
Telling you gotta watch Kids on the Slope.
I haven't seen it yet. Now, as far as the manga portion goes, it would be
My wife got me on Toradora.
I don't know, because everything I usually watch, I've already read it anyway. So
I know. I knew you were gonna have a hard time with this.
It'd be the same thing. Well, okay, it'd be like ReZero. I make all mine light novels because that way I got way more to do rather than the completed series. I would add Ippo because I haven't started Ippo. Remonster, Ippo, Log Horizon light novel, Grimgar and Ash light novel, and then probably what's the most recent Goblin Slayer, the light novel. So like for me, it definitely have to be light novels more so than mangas because I've already damn near read everything up to a certain point, you know. So yeah, that's that. That is that.
Okay, I guess I'll answer Dead Hero's question before we wrap it up.
Yes, sir.
Said, or how about anime that you were surprised it made it big, like Death Note blew up? And okay, let's see. Which one did I expect to flop, but it just blew up and I wound up liking too? It's a tough question. Well, I don't like it, but One Piece is one of my answers just because. One Piece is one of mine. I'm not a fan of One Piece, and I really didn't expect it to be still the top, like, manga / anime in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, and I still don't like it. So that one surprised me. If I had to say one that I liked that blew up, and I didn't expect it to be that popular, was Durarara. I didn't expect it to be as popular as it was. And I love it, but I just didn't think it was everybody's type of anime. But after I watched that, I watched one called Bakano too, which was just excellent anime.
Good stuff. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. For me, I haven't necessarily seen anything or been like on the first craze of something to pop up that I know nobody knew of, but I knew it would blow up and just wasn't disappointed. Like most of the stuff I read, I know it blew up. Like when I first read Boku no Hero, like I caught Boku no before it was even like I got it like way early in some weird issue online before it like got put into Shonen Jump, and I'm like, I know for a fact this is gonna be high. Like just off of reading the premise of it, I was like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna make waves. This has potential to even take Naruto's spot because I know Boruto's gonna have a good while before it gets there. You know, really gets there. But what can I say? I've actually watched it. Actually, kind of had a good fan base and like blew people away, man. Or just surprised that it it blew up rather than like it did.
Dragon Ball Z, it blew up once Battle of the Gods came out. It was already popular.
But I
and
would
then it
count
blew
Dragon
up
Ball
more.
always. I would always say Dragon Ball had a fan base because as a kid, you know, most of my friends it
It
still
did
had
always
big.
have a fan base.
Yeah.
That's true.
This is something like, you know, that was surprised it made it big. Like Death Note is a perfect example because I never thought Death Note at what it was when I saw it would
and
grow
then,
to, you know, as big
and
as it was.
Blew up.
What would I say? Man, Dead Hero, you asked some really good questions, bro. Like I'm really happy. I really have to ponder this for a second. What's got like a big hype and fan following to it that I didn't expect to blow up the way it did. Actually, yeah, Gintama.
You're right.
I did not
Yeah,
I did not think Gintama when at first would be as big as it is now.
Yeah, and it is huge now.
It is massive. So
I
yeah,
did not expect it to be that popular.
no. And you know what's crazy? I've still only just hit the surface layer of Gintama. I still haven't even dove into it yet fully.
Yeah, me neither.
But I know I had to think. I was like, who was a character from? And I had to pull from. What's the last game that came out? Not Jump Force, but the last shonen game they had, the fighter game that was on PlayStation.
Oh, J-Stars.
Yeah, J-Stars. I had to pull from J-Stars and be like, man, what was one on there? That I was surprised he was on J-Stars. I was like,
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is another one too.
Yeah, JoJo,
as popular as it is,
its fan base is getting surprisingly big.
Yeah, because it's so far out there. I was like, this is like you got to be like a serious anime watcher to really watch this and appreciate it. And people love it.
It's so good. Even the older stuff is good.
Yeah, I'm about to put on my soundboard. I'm about to put some of those voice lines on it. Like,
Bruh.
oh my god!
All I need you to do is like when stuff gets crazy in chat, like you gotta get the crazy Jotaro when he's throwing fists. I think he has the best one when he's throwing fists. Jotaro's got the best sound for throwing hands. Yes, he's got the best one
on my stream. That's my donations.
Oh man, but yeah, man, that's it. I think that's closing mark. So we hit the 2-hour mark. We would have gone even longer, you know, and we had more people, more subjects, more topics. But I think we can knock out with that today, man. I'd like to just thank everybody that came through. Shout out to the folks who were in here earlier. Mellatrace still here, of course. CK, CKTV, KDJ. Also, I'd like to thank the people who followed. Final Hayes, Ryosuke Hero, Jay Dammit, thank you. Dead Hero, fam, thank you for being a loyal subscriber, my guy. I appreciate it so much. Somebody who also followed yesterday that I didn't notice, I'm just gonna shout you out because I like to make sure everybody feels welcome and important. Lil Peen M8, you followed me. You hit me 17 hours ago with the follow, and just thank you. Why are you laughing? I don't get it.
Peen.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that's why it's funny.
But thank you, fam. But yeah, this has been the Animanga Kickback. I can thank everybody that just came through to listen, whether you were actually being engaged or just enjoy the conversation we were having. Man, this is gonna happen at my best. Try to every other Saturday or every Saturday if I'm able to. We want to make this something big. I want to see this grow, and your feedback helps me make this great, and everything thereafter. You'll be able to find this later on YouTube and also SoundCloud and Spotify. Just let folks know, like share, word of mouth. Word of mouth makes everything great. If we can make this something big, hopefully we can get to the point where we can actually start doing like real in-depth reviews and watches, without getting any type of bans, but have that type of privilege from Funimation or Crunchyroll or whoever, even Twitch may give us something great. But yeah, again, man, just thank y'all so much for this, and that's my closing remarks. Trey, you got anything?
Pretty much the same thing he said, y'all. Appreciate y'all coming out. It's something we enjoy doing. And yeah, every other Saturday. I'm definitely gonna be on here every other Saturday. If he does start doing it every Saturday. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, check out CKTV, twitch.tv/CKTV,
I'm about to plug all y'all in here.
twitch.tv/King Dejan, or twitch.tv/Nella Trey. We're all streamers, we're all a community. So, yeah, y'all are part of the community too, as long as y'all are in here supporting what we're doing. And we appreciate it. So, yeah, y'all be easy, and I will see y'all later.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll let y'all later. I'm gonna just let this music ride out for a little bit, and I'll catch y'all later, man. Peace.
All right, man.